All right, welcome back. And this morning, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, under the leadership of its chairperson, that is Wafula Chebukati, is holding a meeting when it comes to the fate of a Jubilee Party aspirant for the Kibra parliamentary by-election after IEBC said that Mariga cannot vie for that seat because he's not a registered candidate. And IEBC gave Jubilee Party a week to actually, file a case before it, the tribunal. Let's just cross over there and listen in live.
Mental consequences have arisen. Number one, she has, perhaps without intending it, threatened a violation of Article 38 of the Constitution on the part of the applicant, which is a right to vie for and, if elected, to occupy a public office. It's the right to vie. He's prima facie a registered voter. He has a right to vie. She has violated Article 83 of the Constitution on registration of voters, because the applicant before you, prima facie, has met those qualifications and there's no allegation to the contrary. And more importantly for me, our Constitution frowns upon administrative measures being an impediment to the realization of the right. For example, the obligation on the part of the respondent to do more, to go beyond the schemes as dictated by Section 2. It's an administrative process. You call for it. You call for the record. You look at it. That's an administrative process. The failure to exhaust that process is an administrative measure which is a fetter to the exercise of the right. We humbly submit that, having made out a case that the respondent fell into plain error, perhaps unintended, it now falls upon this committee to remedy that error. We invite you that error can only be remedied by granting the prayers as specified in paragraph 7 of the complainant's written complaint. Unless the chairman or the committee has any questions for me, that is the complainant's case.
Okay, could we hear from Jubilee Party?
Thank you, Chairman and members. I will be very brief, and for purposes of also order, we have filed an affidavit deposed by one Andrew Musangi, dated 13th and filed on the same day of September 2019. We have also this morning filed submissions which we intend to rely on. I fully adopt the contents of the affidavit and the submissions. And Chairman, the interested party submits that the question that is before you is the nomination by the interested party and submission of its nomination certificates to the IEBC of its intended candidate in the person of the complainant. Chair, the interested party did nominate the complainant, having confirmed that indeed he had all the requirements which the Constitution and its nomination regulations enlisted as prerequisites for nomination. Chairman and members, indeed, the regulations of the interested party has a matrix that requires certain documents to be produced. Among that requirement in the matrix is the fact that one ought to be a registered voter. How then would or did the interested party confirm that the complainant is a registered voter? The interested party is aware that registration of voters is a continuous exercise as required by law. and upon the submission by the complainant of the registration acknowledgement receipt by the IEBC, that in itself alone form the basis of the verification process to be confirmed that indeed
All right, that is the legal team representing McDonald Mariga, the Jubilee candidate for Kibra parliamentary by-election, just appearing before the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Tribunal under the leadership of Wafula Chebukati. They're saying that it was not right for the Kibra returning officer, Beatrice Mule, just to try and say that Mariga is not a registered voter, so he cannot vie for that seat. Let's just go back and listen in live to what's happening there.
Reviewing the decision of the respondent that was in error. This committee
Right, we do apologize for that technical hitch, but right there is the legal team for McDonald Mariga, representing their candidate for Jubilee, saying that the IEBC RO, that is the returning officer Beatrice Mule, went against Article 83 of the Constitution by denying Mariga that chance to vie for